Hello YouTube, this is going to be a quick guide to killing the 4 Awakened DT2 bosses in Gridmaster and Old School Runescape. I didn't really see any guides on these bosses myself, and I was a little bit intimidated to start them, but I went ahead and tried them and they're really not that bad with all the overpowered relics that we get. I'm going to recommend that you have already completed at least the Yama task in order to get Last Stand. We're going to heavily rely on it for all 4 bosses to cheese them. You should probably also have a T-bow. The easiest raid to solo is definitely Tombs of a Masket. But if you've already done that and claimed a different Mega Rare, the next easiest one is probably Cox. But I would for sure recommend you get a T-bow because it's definitely the strongest out of all 3 styles. You have 100% accuracy, so it's just really, really strong. And then, other than that, if you can complete this row right here to get the Sunlit Bracers, the spear doesn't really matter. The bracers will double your healing from any food, and in combination with the Corrupted Shark and the Infinite Potions, the Cerebrews, you'll pretty much have really, really overpowered healing. So that's pretty much all that you need. I'm just wearing like a Huey Quaddle hide and Black D hide legs, so you really don't need any defense whatsoever. You don't need BCP or any crazy stuff like that. So let's just go ahead and get into the bosses themselves. As for Leviathan, he's pretty much the same as his normal counterpart. You want to stun him before, or like as he's ending his second cycle of spells when he adds in the melee, so that you don't have to start one tick flicking. And to do that, you just need to be able to cast a shadow spell on him, and then run behind him and hit him with your T-bow. And that'll just reset his cycle back to 1, back to the basic range mage flicking. You also do need to make sure that you get Awakener's Orb to actually access the Awakened version of the boss. Now, I didn't know this, but they actually have different drop rates, the different bosses do. The Whisperer has the highest drop rate, and if you multiply this by, I think we get an 8 times drop rate, you'll get like 1 in 4 from the Whisperer. So she's definitely the fastest one to kill if you want to farm like, 6 to 10 of these, so that you can have a little bit of leeway and get multiple attempts on each boss. That's what I would recommend doing. But you can also just farm a couple of them from each boss as you get to them. So just make sure that you have your Ancient Staff for Vardorvis to cast a shadow spell. Have it on auto cast. And then let's go ahead and get into the actual kill. So to start, you're just going to be flicking between range and mage. It's okay if you miss a spell or 2 here. Make sure not to change your prayer until after the orb already hits you. So you see I hit the mage, and then only after I get hit I switch my prayer to the next prayer. So I'm going to let him do one more round of spells on me. And then after this phase, when he begins to drop rocks on me, I'm going to stun him with the shadow spell. Only one time. Just hit him once. Run around to the back with the T-bow. You don't have that much time. You have less time than on normal mode, so make sure you do this relatively quickly. And then I may stun him one more time. I don't quite remember. Oh yes, I forget that he does a special attack after you stun him. So I got hit by the lightning quite a bit there. I try and get a little bit of damage on the way, and then I start getting hit again. So this just goes to show you, you really don't have to be perfect at all. I'm barely even doing any damage this phase. Now for the enraged phase, the orb that you have to stand with is going to be spawning always in the northwest corner. So try and position yourself near there as best you can while taking as little damage. You don't want to proc last stand until the enrage starts, if at all possible. See, I'm kind of just running around like a chicken, but it's still working out because we have the 40 HP shark heal. Now try and get as close as you can to this orb thingy, proc last stand, and just kill him. And see how much time I have left on my last stand. That yellow bar represents how much time you have left. So that's about it for Leviathan. And then let's see. Let's go ahead and do Duke. Duke, unfortunately, make sure that you, well, first of all, make sure that you use the Awakened Orb before you come in the gate. Get your Pestle and Mortar, pickaxe. You can go ahead and mark these tiles that I have here on the ground and you'll never get hit by the lasers. You can freely just run across. You don't have to be scared of the lightning either. It doesn't do any damage, it just stuns you. Or maybe it does do damage. It's only like 20 to 30 damage at most. So just get a bunch of mushrooms from this side. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Stay on the pink tiles to stay safe. Get all the mushrooms. Come back to the bottom level. Mine this little ore deposit on the right side or the left side while avoiding the poison clouds. This part's pretty self-explanatory if you've already done the normal. But what we're essentially doing is we're just getting these mushrooms and this rocks to create poison that will wake up the Duke. Once you have enough stuff, just fill the fermentation vats. Get a few poisons from there. I think you only need like 3 or 4, but I just want to do a full inventory just to be safe. Now, we're going to try our best to stay in that front row next to Duke, but there will come a point where he tries to fill up the entire first row with poison, and you may end up in a situation where you have to run to the second row of pillars. And if that's the case, make sure that you switch to Prey Mage. Normally you'll be praying melee, so you take reduced damage from his melee attack, but if you have to go to second row, definitely Prey Mage. Don't forget to brew, restore, and then drink your boost potions, your ranging potion, your super combat. And I think anti-poison is necessary here too for the poison clouds, but I'm not 100% sure. So just spam click him to feed him the poisons, start hitting him. You want to click when you see the clouds like burst right now, yeah. So that you don't take any damage from the melee. But if you mess it up, it's really not that big a deal. Just eat your shark. And then when he does his eye attack, make sure you hide behind the pillar. Otherwise you'll take like 100 damage. So that's the one attack you really don't want to get hit by. Okay, so he's dropping poison clouds. I'm having to retreat to the back row. But I left a spot open in the front, so I could go back to the front if I wanted to. He's gonna do an attack where he like leaves a poison trail on you, but it doesn't really matter because he's just already gonna be dead. So that's pretty much it. But I did switch to Prey Mage correctly. I actually didn't need to stay in that back row because there was a spot open in the top left. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, I didn't need to be back here, but if you're gonna be back here, then Prey Mage because he'll attack you with Mage. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's do Vardorvis. Vardorvis is he's a little bit. He can kind of combo you out if you get unlucky with the axes. You're gonna get an additional axe on every spawn compared to normal mode. What I chose to do is I chose to stand on this one tile in front of this pillar right here. Spec him with my Kopesh 5 times with Piety on. Swap to Rigger, swap to T-Bow, and then just hit him. Don't try and dodge the axes, because in trying to dodge one axe, you might get hit by 3 other axes. I even messed up the capture here, because it's a lot faster on Awakened mode. Now here I did manage to pray correctly against those tentacles. So on normal mode, you only have to pray range, like whenever the little tentacle pops up. You see that blue projectile though? That's flying towards me, that's saying I need to pray mage actually. So whenever you get the tentacles on Awakened, rather than just having to pray range and switch back to melee, you're going to have to pray mage range and then back to melee, or range mage, depending on which projectile is going to hit you first. So if you watch closely here, when the tentacles pop up, it's range and then mage. So I go range mage and then back to melee. So I do manage to quickly avoid that damage, but it's not like it mattered because I had just proc last stand as he died. So realistically, all you have to do is just stand there and tank everything. Hope you don't get too unlucky with the axes or with the prayers. And then, you know, this one did take me 2 attempts because I did get unlucky the first time. But overall, just don't panic and don't run into axes. Just stand still and try and pray correctly if you can. Now, the last one is Whisperer. This is the one that most people have reported having problems with. I think I took about 2 or 3 attempts. Oh, for the tile packs here, download, make sure you have the Runelight tile markers, ground markers, plugins. There's also a plugin you can get on the plugin hub called Tile Packs. Go ahead and download that one too for these Awakened Whisperer tiles. The tiles in the middle don't really matter. They're just for the green orb phase, for reminding you like where they are. The really important ones are these tiles in the southeast and southwest corners that are kind of in L shapes from each other. Basically, whenever the tentacles come out, if you walk into L shape in any direction, you'll never get hit by them. Because they're always going to only come from cardinal directions like east, west, north, south, or the in-between like directly northeast, directly northwest, etc. So if you walk in an L shape, they're never going to hit you. So for this fight, my strategy was to just pray range, camp range pray. If I get hit by mage, I just eat a shark. And then make sure I do not get hit by the tentacles, because the tentacles do sanity damage to you, whereas the prayers, like a mist prayer, does not do that. Mist prayer does not give you sanity damage. You are going to have to proc last stand at some point to regen your sanity. That's kind of you don't. It's a little bit different from the other bosses in that you're not saving last stand for the very end. You want to save it for when your sanity gets low, and then just proc it. Your sanity will regen to full after last stand ends. So just try and do the mechanics correctly for the most part, and then rely on last stand whenever you mess up, basically. And you only need to move when the tentacles pop up, which will be after a barrage of prayers. Every time she unleashes a barrage of prayers at you, you'll have to dodge the tentacles. Oh, quick note on the Blackstone fragment. You need the Blackstone fragment to get into this Shadow Realm and see like which orbs are going to light up. So in this area, before you get to the Whisperer, there's that workbench in the northeast of the city. If you search it, you can retrieve the Blackstone fragment. Or you can also talk to Ketla, which is right next to the bench. So for this phase, whenever she reaches certain thresholds, she's going to phase into the special attack. You want to activate your Blackstone fragment to see which orbs become green. You can choose to, if you have a good memory, to reactivate the Blackstone fragment to get out of the Shadow Realm because your sanity will be slowly drained. So this can increase the amount of time that you have before you have to proc last stand, basically. So this is a pretty easy pattern to remember, so I went ahead and exited the Shadow Realm. But if you don't have a good memory, this is completely unnecessary. As long as you're not making any other mistakes. For pillars, just stay in the Shadow Realm. You want to go behind the lowest health pillar, and then go behind the next lowest health pillar, etc. You can give her 1 or 2 attacks between pillars, but I kind of messed this up pretty badly. I didn't go behind the lowest health pillar, so the one I was sitting behind got destroyed, and I took a ton of sanity damage. So this is not ideal. I'm proccing last stand when I don't really want to be. I shouldn't have messed that up. But it's still going to be fine, fortunately. Just to show you how much, how forgiving that is, that this whole thing actually is. Now in this phase, use the Blackstone fragment and kill the ones that say Sanitas, because they will restore your sanity, which I definitely need, now that I already procced last stand. After every special attack, you want to barrage her. I did this for the last special attack too. Forgot to mention. Swap to your Ancient Staff and cast Ice Barrage, coming out of every special. She's going to start running at you. Don't swap to your T-Bow until she stops moving, because she's going to run up and melee you for like 270s in a row if you don't. Yeah, so then kill the Sanitas, and then I'll have to be ready to barrage her again. That's where I run back to the southwest corner to be prepared to gain distance from her. The Ancient Staff Barrage. You're going to take a ton of damage, so make sure that you brew up coming out of the the spirit's face. Looks like she's going to do another special. It's the orbs this time. It's an easy pattern, so I have it memorized. I did this a few times on normal. That's a great way to prepare yourself for the Awakened, is to just try the boss a couple times on normal. Whisperer is pretty much exactly the same as her Awakened mode. She just has more health and does more damage. Barrage, T-bow, pillars, Blackstone fragment. Try not to mess it up this time. I'm pretty sure I'm going to mess it up this time too. But it's really, really simple. You just stay behind the lowest health pillar at all times. You don't need to greed for damage like this. I don't really know why I'm trying to hit her so much. Okay, looks like I managed to do that one correctly. Barrage her till she stops moving. Blackstone fragment, kill the Sanitas ghosts. Keep some distance from her, get ready to barrage when she comes out of the special. This is a nice time to get a lot of damage on her. Just kill the Sanitas guys. Activate the Blackstone fragment, you can hit her with the T-bow a bunch of times. Don't forget to brew up after the spirit's phase, because you will take a lot of damage. Alright, one more Blackstone fragment. Barrage to make her stop moving. Pretty much just same thing over and over, while keeping an eye on your sanity meter. You never want to go to 0 without last stand. And as you can see in my chat box, last stand is now ready again, so you may actually get multiple uses of it if you proc it early. Looks like I think I'm gonna mess this up actually, if I remember correctly. I tried to greed for damage or something on the last pillar. Oh, never mind. Did it correctly. But I did run out of sanity because you can't exit the... Yeah, that's what happened. You can't exit the Shadow Realm during the pillar phase for some reason. So I kept losing sanity till I hit 0, proc last stand. So now you just need to do this for a couple seconds. Just walk in the L shape between every attack, and you'll never get hit by the tentacles. I mean, I still got hit by some because I didn't walk correctly. I'll go over that one more time. So coming into the Enrage, I'm just focusing on attack, move, attack, move, attack, move, every tick. I'm trying to walk in L shape, but obviously it's a little difficult. But whenever I walk in the L shape, I'm not getting hit by those tentacles. I'm only getting hit by the missed prayers. So yeah, this boss definitely is the most mechanically involved, but definitely you can cheese it a little. You pray mage, just eat shark on the range hits, on the mage hits, and try your best to do the mechanics correctly. But as you can see, I did them wrong like multiple times, so definitely pretty forgiving with the overpowered relics. Just to reiterate one more time, you for sure want to have Yama to get last stand. You for sure want to have T-bow. I don't think the other mega rares are going to cut it. Because range you get 100% accuracy. And try your very best to get this row right here for the Sunlight Bracers. They'll make that corrupted shark heal you for like 46 or something every time you click it. So hopefully this guide was helpful. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see anything else. Like I could show you how to do solo Cox or TOB. I'm not very good at those. I haven't even tried them in the main game, but they're definitely very doable in Gridmaster. Have a good one, everybody.